Please excuse me as I'm talking about these things as they are painful for me. This incident is one of many used through these years to color me in a viciously negative light. I must make clear I have intentionally used a needle only once in my life, and it was not in a vein, it was intramuscular. I have never been an opiate user ever, of any kind of injection or inhalation or even taking it by mouth, of course. I've never been an opiate user. So this was back in 2016, a few months after the fire, and I was furiously trying to find work. I was introduced to a woman named Leslie and Tiffany from Philip, Canada, and Alex Bird Skinner. I will be speaking more about Alex in a following story about his the connection between him and Alcoholics Anonymous with Scott Smith and Janet. Rest in peace, Janet, from my understanding. At least that's what I was told by Alex. Leslie said she had a friend that I could work with part-time, but I had to meet him first, and after meeting him, he said he was the local assistant coach for the high school football team there. He hired me to drive him around, basically. After meeting him, he said, yeah, okay, we can probably work together. Leslie took me over to Goodwill so that we can get me a new pair of pants and a shirt so I can look good for the job. When we returned to her RV, she had made me a celebratory drink. I was very happy to be doing anything. Like I said, I was looking for work furiously. I think it was a whiskey and Coke. I don't remember finishing the drink. The only thing I remember is waking up on the floor of the RV with nobody in there except for my dog. No one else. Being very groggy and having a kind of an itching sensation on my left forearm. There were some other dramatics after I woke up that was being created by Philip Canada, and I will elaborate on that in a future story. This itching sensation that was on my arm took about 4 or 5 days to swell up to about an egg-sized infection that was... The pain was just fiery pain. That's the only way I can explain it. Turned into an abscess, and I have a fingernail-sized scar left from this. I don't know if you can see it from here. Can you see the scar? Anyway, not only is there a scar, there's tissue gone. It's just a... Yes. So one very interesting note is that my mother called me the next morning after this initial incident to ask me how I was feeling. My mother never does this. She knows that I always feel pretty much okay, so she doesn't call me asking me how I'm feeling. And there's more to that connection too, which is related with Michael Wren and my mother, but that will be another story completely also. So I believe that what happened in the RV was documented and used to spear me. I believe it was altered contextually to make it seem as if I was shooting up drugs of some sort, most likely an opiate, while the reality is I was under the effects of a sedative that had been slipped into my drink. I believe that this was staged to make me look like an IV drug user and to smear my reputation further, as it had already been destroyed, which is what led up to the fire at my house. But this happened in around the first few months of 2016. I'll be following this up with some other stories, but this is how I was framed in a sense or staged to make it seem as if I am an IV opiate drug user, which is actually so far from the truth that, but anyway, thank you for listening, and I appreciate you listening. Thank you.